He investigates stuff just like the Night Stalker. That's basically what it's based on to a certain extent, but it's a different twist, obviously. But yeah, that's funny that you mentioned that, the Night Stalker. That was actually a good show, by the way.
Oh, it was brilliant. They used to split like the late movie, and it would be that and then something else.
Yep.
When it was Kolchak, the Night Stalker. Oh, that was brilliant writing because there was nothing gory about anything,
No,
and
it was mysterious,
it was suspenseful.
supernatural. Did it exist? Is it for real? Isn't it? So yeah. You asked me, and I started to go off in the weeds a little bit. Like if there's anything I wanted to add,
yes,
I'll just say this, and I put it on the back of the book. The final hunt has commenced. Death has many names. Extinction has arrived. So that's kind of summing up what this book is. So be ready when you read this, because if you get a little scared or
not
you're
a
worried,
happy jaunt, is it?
It's it'll take you on a ride.
Okay.
And you're going to root for the heroes, but you're going to be sad for some of them too.
The book is Time Break Expedition, The Return, Dead Adrenaline 2, and you said it's available in local bookshops like you were talking about, also on Amazon, right?
Yes, it is. Yep.
All right. I can't be in we'll talk about the third book. I'm wondering what my role can be in the third book, knowing enough about what happens
time
to me in the
travel
second.
is a bizarre thing.
That's right.
And when you see what happens to you, you might question, well, maybe I could be, or maybe I couldn't be. You won't know until you read it. And you're going to be like, but then you think, well, what if I'm not the same? What if I'm not Eddie Crow anymore?
I'd be fine with that. I'd be fine with that. Clinton Kurtika, good seeing you. Thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
And you're going to come back and we're going to talk more about the third book when you do that.
Absolutely. Yeah, the third book's right there. And real quick, the third book, you read the first, read the second. The third book for fantasy lovers out there, medieval, sword, sorceress.
Oh, sweet.
Maybe dragons.
I like dragons.
You're going to love the third book because I take a direction that you'll understand it by the end of the first or second book, why I did that and what's going down. And you'll be like, no kidding.
How long has this trilogy been in your head?
It's been there for a while. I try to unhatch it at times, but, I dabbled with it in my mind, and a couple times I sat down, I was writing stuff, and I just went for it. I always thought, well, maybe when I retire, I figured, let's do it before I retire. Let's start working on it.
Let's keep working on it.
Yes.
Clint Kurtika on Teleforum. I make friends with zombies. There's the hint.
Beaver County Boom is happening June the 29th, and Beaver County Radio is the place to listen for all the coverage. Falcone's Moon Township Ford will present a live broadcast on Beaver County Radio from the VIP headquarters at Mario's 410 Grill from 6 until the choreographed fireworks and music get underway at 9:45. Take your radio along to listen or download our free apps on your mobile device, as Beaver County Radio is your exclusive place to hear the soundtrack to the fireworks. The Falcone's Moon Township Ford Beaver County Boom broadcast sponsors include Friendly Federal Credit Union, Tri-County McDonald's, the Hopewell Shopping Center, Electric Garage Door Sales, the Community College of Beaver County Radio, and BeaverCountyRadio.com. The 2024 Beaver County Boom broadcast is being presented by Falcone's Moon Township Ford, where friends send friends.
PA Cyber presents Midland Music Mondays at Lincoln Park. On June the 24th at 6:30 p.m., enjoy Burke's Bavarian Band. That's June the 17th in the park, rain or shine. Food truck service begins at 5, sponsored by Beaver County Radio.
95.7 and 99.3 FM, along with WBVP, WMBA, and BeaverCountyRadio.com, invite you to tune in to Sounds of Faith. Tune in Sunday mornings from 7 until 9 for a mix of the best sacred music of all time. Sounds of Faith is brought to you by Crawford Tire and Beaver, the William Murphy Funeral Home, City Rescue Mission, MRS Physical Therapy, Circle of Friends, J&J Spratt Funeral Home, and Rome Monument and Inspirational Gifts. Sounds of Faith, uplifting, relaxing, and inspiring radio. Sunday mornings from 7 until 9 on 95.7 and 99.3 FM, along with WBVP, WMBA, and BeaverCountyRadio.com.
Beaver County Transit Authority connects you to where you want to be.
Join Beaver County Radio for the live broadcast at the Beaver County Transit Authority in Rochester, Friday, June 28th from 10 a.m. to 12 noon. The Beaver County Transit Authority has a new look and new ways to get you where you want to go. Now you can join in the celebration. Bring your friends and family. We'll have prizes to win, including pirate tickets, the Charles Wesley Godwin performance at Stage AE, signed sports memorabilia, Buzzy's Pizza in Rochester, children's games, and lots of fun for everyone. Come out and celebrate the new Beaver County Transit Authority live broadcast 10 a.m. to 12 noon on June 28th in Rochester.
Safe, no fuss, leave the driving to us. Adventure's just a ride away. Beaver County Transit Authority, BCTA. Ride the bus.
You're listening to 99.3 FM, presented by St. Barnabas, in addition to 1230 WBVP Beaver Falls. Welcome to the Best of Beaver County, presented by St. Barnabas, a weekly segment dedicated to putting the focus on the amazing things and the amazing people behind them in Beaver County. The Best of Beaver County is sponsored by and content is provided by St. Barnabas. The show airs every Thursday from 11 to 11:30 on WBVP, WMBA, 99.3 FM, and Facebook Live. Now, with no further ado, let's welcome host Mike Romai to introduce today's program.
And welcome to the Best of Beaver County. I'm Mike Romai on the St. Barnabas Radio Network, and every Thursday we get together at this time and we talk about issues in Beaver County and people of Beaver County, and specifically people involved with businesses that are doing well in Beaver County that you should know about. And joining us this morning from the Ambridge Area Federal Credit Union is the CEO, Gary Ford. Gary, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Mike. Thanks for having us here.
All right. It's interesting because the Ambridge Area Federal Credit Union is in Baden.
Yes, we're in Baden, but we are located in Ambridge.
Yeah.
I mean, in Baden, but we're part of the Ambridge Area School District.
That area down there is all kind of together.
We all know each other down there. We all stick around together.
You got Baden and
across the river, South Heights.
Yeah, very good. Tell us a little bit about Gary Ford.
So I am born and raised in Ambridge. I grew up in the Economy Borough. I am one of three, my two older sisters.
Okay.
I lived with my mom and dad there for years. I just got married 8 years ago to my wife, Mary Kay. We now reside in Baden, so I'm just a minute and a half from work every day. So I just have to sled down the hill every day down to Baden if I want to.
I've always thought of that to be either a blessing or a curse, and I wasn't sure.
It's kind of nice because she works from home now too, so I get to go home from lunch and pick on her for a little bit too.
Okay.
So
Okay.
she doesn't get away from me.
Yeah, so you went from Economy Borough, where what's up there? That's the Ambridge Golf Course, Country Club.
The Harmony Ridge Golf Course is up that
Yeah.
way, so I grew up right around that area up there in Ridge Road School area up there. So
Okay.
that's where I grew up and born and raised in Economy and
All right.
loved Ambridge and stuck around.
Yeah, 1995 graduate of Ambridge.
Graduated of Ambridge 1995, class of 95.
What are some of those high school moments that are burned into your memory?
Just the Ambridge football games, hanging out in the Ambridge, going down to the different car shows, being involved in Ambridge, and so that my dad has a car, so we were always at the Beaver Falls Car Show, at the Ambridge Car Show. So now he's got two cars.
Mm-hmm.
So I haven't been able to drive in him because I don't know how to drive a stick. He never taught me. I think there's a reason he never taught me how to drive a stick.
They say if you want to confuse our Generation X, or put them in a car with a stick shift on it.
And a map from what I hear too.
But they used to have a lot of car cruises in Ambridge.
Yeah, at the old, what was it, Mr. C's or Saffron's, we used to have every
Saffron's.
Wednesday night. Yeah, we used to have a car show. I remember going there because he had a 55 Chevy we'd go every Wednesday night down there
okay.
with. So.
And my old friend Rinky Dink, or R.D. Summers, used to be the DJ up there all the time.
Yeah, I remember the 94.5 3WS bus down there because my dad's buddy actually owned the bus after they got rid of it.
Yeah, but you don't have a classic car, huh?
No, I don't have a classic car yet,
So your dad does, though?
My dad does. He has
we have cruises here every month now through the end of summer. Have him drive his hot rod up here.
I will definitely do that. Yeah, now that we know that there's one we're always looking for a place to go, so we'll definitely be up here.
Our next one is July 20th.
July 20th, okay.
Yeah, and we got plenty of space up here, as you can see.
I see, yeah. And I was surprised this location. I used to go, and last time I was on the air, I was down in Beaver Falls. So,
yeah,
you know.
I didn't even think about telling you that when we talked the other day. Because there have been times in the last year and a half where I've gotten a call from a guest, and they say, "Where is the station? I'm down here,
Right.
and I don't see anybody here."
Well, somebody told me it's by the new old police or the state barracks. I'm like, well, the state barracks used to be over
right,
there.
it used to be over there.
So that was a whole
over
new
here.
location to me, too.
Yeah, we always tell them the old Michael Baker Jr. place.
Right.
But we've got like 150 acres out here.
Yeah.
So for car cruises, we just fill it up.
Yeah, you have the nice spot for it.
Yeah, certainly. So tell us a little. You already told us you've been married for 8 years. Still a newlywed.
Still a newlywed, yep. Still enjoying each other's company right now.
Very good. Now, in the Ambridge Area Federal Credit Union is in Baden, but you really have expanded out. Tell us about the history of the credit union.
So the Ambridge Area Federal Credit Union used to be the Ambridge Teachers Credit Union, who was founded back in 1935 and started in somebody's basement, of course, and then we grew and grew and grew. So it used to just be open to the Ambridge area teachers at the area for the school district there. Any retirees or any employees or anybody affiliated with the Ambridge area school district was able to join. Quaker Valley was also part of our original SEG because Quaker Valley was actually in Ambridge at one point in time. They had an elementary school there in the Ambridge area, so that's why Quaker Valley was originally in our charter. And then the past year, we added Freedom School District to our charter also because they're so close in vicinity to Ambridge. So we just thought it was easy to add Ambridge or Freedom into our groups too. So
it's interesting because you're signing up new school districts to join your credit union. So that means that you have to go out there and do a sales pitch.
pretty much, yeah. We have to go out there and talk to the schools and see if we can come in and solicit to them. So we do offer a reality fair to high schools. So we go into the high school and we do a reality fair. We give the juniors a job with how much they would expect to make on their job at that point in time. Then we send them 9 different stations throughout the gymnasium where they got to go and, do the real reality thing and go purchase a car, purchase whether you're going to rent or buy a house, do all the clothing and all that optional stuff, all your fun stuff that you want to do with activities. And then they may come back, we give them a budget and then what they're going to spend and how much they make. And sometimes they have to go back and get another job or cut some of that fun stuff that they did on the side. So
yeah, that's sort of like a reality check, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a little reality check and says, okay, this may not be as much fun as I thought.
Yeah, it's kind of depressing when you think about it.
Right.
I've got all this stuff that I want to do, and big house and big car and all that, and then I don't have the money to do it.
Right. All those goals we sort of crush in a minute, but that's okay. It gives them a reality of what they expect in the real world, and they, the teachers appreciate that because it's in a way that we can give back to the Ambridge or whatever school that we're involved in, be able to communicate with the schools also.
Yeah, it's interesting because I'm old enough to remember when they used to have home economics in school and things like that, classes like that. And I've read recently on social media, a lot of people saying, what we're missing and lacking in schools is the idea of this is what you have to do. This is how you have to manage your money.
Right. Because
so many people are in debt nowadays and filing for bankruptcy that it seems as though people don't have a clue how to run their finances.
Yeah, unfortunately, that seems like a class that's been missed. There's a lot of that finance opportunity in accounting, basic accounting, that kind of thing. Just even writing a check, it doesn't seem like that's been gone too. I mean, I still write a check from time to time. I know a lot of people still don't write checks, but every once in a while you got to give it to a charity. You need to write a check too.
Right. Yeah. I mean, and it's amazing because you almost feel like you're out of touch whenever you have to pull out a checkbook.
Or you got to go search through the house and say, "Where's that checkbook at? Where do I?"
Yeah, exactly. Or if you carry cash, and I carry cash, but so many people have a debit card or a credit card nowadays that if they don't know how to balance their books, they're definitely going to get into trouble.
And my wife is one that doesn't balance her checkbook, and I balance mine every day, every month. I go through, and she's like, "What are you doing that for?" I'm like, still in my mind, I need to do it. That's what I was taught.
But that's probably why she doesn't do it. She says, he'll do it.
Yeah, right.
Don't worry about it.
Right.
Did I spend too much this month? Check that out.
Right.
So it is very interesting when you think about today's society. My kids are in their 30s, and a lot of times they don't carry cash with them.
Right. Yep. Yeah, I don't really carry cash either. So.
Yeah.
It's
So
one
I'm a
of those-
dinosaur. I'm readily admitting that.
I would always said I was the worst person with cash because I would always forget when we were going out. I'd forget to get cash because we were going somewhere if we were paying as a group. I'd always forget to get cash before I left.
And that's always the thing. You're going somewhere and they say, "Can you pull over to the ATM machine
Yep.
because we have to get money?"
Right.
So why don't you carry money? We don't do that anymore. So they always said at one point, and this is going back into the 80s, that we'll eventually be a cashless society.
Yeah, I think we're going that way because it's so easy just to swipe and tap and whatever.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, you go into some places nowadays. I'm trying to think recently where we went. This is a no cash place. Like you go to the North Shore and you want to pay for parking.
Yeah,
If
I've
you-
even heard Kennywood's that
Yeah.
way now too. You can go. It's all cashless up there too.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So we're being forced into it.
Yep.
Whether we like it or not. I was at the airport the other day, and a guy rang it up at the register, and I said, "I'm one of those people who has cash."
Right.
He says, and then he gave me a long speech about how the powers that be are forcing us into this.
Yeah,
And-
there was one place I went. They weren't taking cash because they didn't have any change, so they made you, use your debit card or credit card.
Oh my goodness! Gary, something else. I was talking with a guy this morning who was a former teacher, and he was talking about being a former teacher back in the '70s. I bring this up because of your federal credit union in Ambridge, and you deal with a lot of school districts. He said, in the 1970s, as a school teacher, he was making $7 an hour.
Yeah.
And I thought, wow, that's crazy. And you said your credit union started in 1933.
1935.
Can't
yeah.
imagine what those school teachers were
Right.
making at that time.
Exactly. I don't.
Yeah,
The cost of living too back then too, so they went through it all. But
yeah. So what is it that the Ambridge Area Federal Credit Union can offer to school teachers, and why you're bringing on all these different school districts?
So we offer everything. We offer the free checking, no minimum balances there. We offer savings. We still offer the Christmas Club. A lot of people still like that too. Be able to take
I
it from their
remember having
pay.
a Christmas Club.
We
Yeah.
still offer that for our teachers there too. So it's a way that they can save for Christmas and give it back to them. And usually November 1st we disperse those. And we offer debit cards. We offer the mobile banking deposit and that kind of stuff too. Payroll reductions, where we take it right out of their payroll and have the deduction going right into either their checking account or right into their pay and make their loan payments, so they'll never see it come out. So it's right out of their payroll at that point in time. And we still do all the online banking, bill payer, mobile banking, mobile deposit. So we still all do the modern features too of the credit unions and the banking worlds too. So
Yeah. And the benefit to choosing a credit union over one of the national banks,
Well,
or
one-
even the regional banks.
yeah, one of the benefits is that we give back to the credit to the area too. That's one of the big things that we support in the credit union movement, and I'm a big proponent of the credit unions. I work for the banks too, but it's one of those big things that the credit union, we like to give back to the community. We don't just want to say that we're doing it. We actually look to give how we can give back to the community, whether it's through the reality fairs that we do or just getting involved in the community. I'm involved in different things in the Ambridge area. I'm involved in the Ambridge Rotary Club. I was assistant district governor in the area of the 5 different Beaver County clubs of Rotary here in the area. And then I'm also on the board of Old Economy, the Friends of Old Economy. So we always look to give back to the community that we're involved in too. And that's something that once I got involved in the credit union movement, that's something that was instilled in me, and looked to give back to the communities that we have been into.
Is that a give and take between the business and the community, the social organizations out there?
Yeah, we just want to be involved and get our name out there and work with the community, and that's how we do it. I mean, my wife loves going places with me because there's not a place I don't go that I'm not known by somebody when
Yeah.
we're walking into that place, So
They
that's
call you
kind
the
of
money man.
Well, she calls me the mayor of Beaver County, so I don't know.
Okay, very good. And being from Ambridge and Old Economy and that whole area, just celebrating bicentennial this
Yes,
year. So
yeah.
there's a lot going on.
Yeah, there's a lot going on in the Ambridge area. It's still building. It's nice to see all the revival that's going on down in that area. So that's why we want to be part of give back to the community too, and let us know that we're out there in the Ambridge area still. Because a lot of people have forgotten about the Ambridge Area Federal Credit Union, so we're trying to promote ourselves and get ourselves back out there a little bit more. And, me being an alumnus of Ambridge also is kind of a nice little segue
Sure.
too. I'm working with my old teachers. They educated me for 12 years in school, so now I get to educate all my teachers back then.
Now it's time for them to pay up.
Now I get to teach them about finances and
Yeah.
that kind of stuff, you know, and it's sort of nice to be able to reciprocate that. So
As we were talking, talking about how, you know, I feel like a dinosaur because of what I've become accustomed to at my age. But then there are a lot of other people like that as well. So education is a part of the process that you do at the Ambridge Area Federal Credit Union.
education, it has to be. It's one of those things that you have to continue. You have to learn something every day. You know, if you don't educate, you're not being successful.
And products and services, those come into play as well.
Yeah, they come into play as well. Like I said, we offer all that overdraft protection and everything like that. Help them, refinance their homes if we need to. We can do that kind of stuff too. There, we help them refinance their cars if they want to buy a car. Look at ways that we can save them money and that too. Make sure it's benefiting them.
Is there a benefit to doing business with a credit union like the Ambridge Federal Credit Union and going to a bank? What would those benefits be?
Well, our money goes back into the credit union, like I said earlier. It goes back into shareholders. You're a shareholder in my credit union, so if you're a member of my credit union, you're actually my boss at that point in time. Where the banks, it goes right up to the stockholders, where ours goes right back to you as I'm a shareholder in the credit union.
Yeah.
So
And oftentimes when you hear on a national level talking about a boom and a bust and that sort of thing, and you go back to 2008 and eras when the banks collapsed and things like that, the credit unions always came around saying, "But we're not a part of that.
Yeah,
that doesn't affect us."
Yeah, we weren't part of that. We were part of the groups that actually helped bail the banks out because we were able to do that and stayed. We really focused on what was right for the member, not just selling products to the members. And that's what it is. You're a member of the credit union, not just a customer at others.
And the people who invest in your credit union know that your money is there.
Yeah, it's insured differently. It's insured through the NCUA, which is sort of like the FDIC with the banks. So it's insured through the National Credit Union Association. So it's still the same limits and everything like that the FDIC insures through the banks. So everything's still all the same at that point in time.
I find it interesting that you mentioned Christmas Club accounts.
Yep.
One of the first things we all learned when we were younger, if you want money for Christmas time, you have to put it in the bank.
Yep.
You have to put it in the credit union, and then it'll get you a little bit of interest, but at least you'll know that it's there.
It's there. Yep. It's always something that's saving for you. Even though we disperse it in November so you can have it for December, it just keeps cycling through there. It's one of those things that just keeps growing for you.
I don't think my father was the only one who said, you put some money in a bank. Every time you get paid, you go through it like you got it's burning a hole in your pocket.
Yeah, my parents taught the same thing to me. Always pay yourself first. You're the most important person. You're working all those hours. Pay yourself first.
Yeah.
Even whether it's $50 or whatever, pay yourself before you pay anybody else.
Is it still hard to get that message across?
No, not really. It's one of those things that if you still into them first, you got to pay yourself first. So
I don't think this even happens anymore. Even at credit unions, though, you go in and you put some money in your account, and you might get some golf tees or
the tchotchkes, as we call them.
Yeah.
Everybody loves tchotchkes.
We didn't realize they were called that back then. I just thought that was the pleasure of doing banking with you.
No, we're not giving toasters away like that back in the day.
Gary Ford is our guest. He is the CEO of the Ambridge Area Federal Credit Union. We'll continue our conversation and explain the difference between the credit union, the bank, and how you can benefit here on the Best of Beaver County on the St. Barnabas Radio Network.
We're retired, and we live at St. Barnabas in the Village.
We used to have a house.
Lived in it for 40 years.
Raised our kids.
But it became too much. The upkeep, the stairs.
Moving seemed like such a hassle. We didn't even know where to start, so we didn't.
Until we met Cindy at St. Barnabas.
She talked us through our options.
Yeah, and she helped us with our move and all the arrangements.
There was so much stuff. Who knew we had 3 fondue pots?
But she made it easy.
So easy.
Now we enjoy ourselves.
Golf, the pool, new friends, shuttles to where we want to go.
The pub and the food.
So good.
There wasn't a long-term commitment or any large fees.
And they have a healthcare system on campus with doctors if we need it. The kids really like that.
The kids like to come and eat with us.
There's an easier, worry-free way to retire at the Village at St. Barnabas. Come visit us for a free and informative counseling session and personal tour.
I can't believe you waited so long.
I can't believe you waited so long.
Visit stbarnabashealthsystem.com or call 724-443-0700.
The sound of a cash register ringing, putting money in the bank. That's what we're talking about today with the Ambridge Area Federal Credit Union. Been in business in Beaver County for 88 years. The CEO of the organization is Gary Ford. He's an Ambridge high school graduate. Gary, is it something you always wanted to do? Were you the class treasurer?
No, I was not the class treasurer. Actually, finance was my worst subject in college.
Okay. So how did this change come about?
How it happened was I just found a niche in myself. Found a job. I started at Mellon Bank back in 1999, right out of college. Found somebody I knew there and worked there and worked my way up through Mellon Bank, to Citizens Bank when it converted over. But it was one of those things that I found that I was a people person, and it wasn't just about finances. It was about working with people and helping them develop their skills and what they needed to learn and help them be successful in different things of how to save their money. Whether it was getting them a refinance at a lower rate on their home equity loan or something like that, that was something I enjoyed doing, just building rapport with people. And that's why I'm known throughout Beaver County, is because I worked
the mayor
through the Beaver County. I worked from Quaker Village all the way up to Rochester and then across the river in Aliquippa and Hopewell too. So I've known a lot of people in the area, and once I stuck with the financial industry, I was there for 10 years at the banks, and then I moved over to the credit union in 2008, and have been in the credit union since 2008 at that point in time, and just love the credit union compared to the banks because I just think it's more valuable to be involved in the credit unions.
It seems like a matter of trust.
Yes.
When you're sitting down with people, and obviously they're trusting you with their money, their hard-earned savings, making investments, buying a home, a car, sending the kids through college, and they want to be confident that the money is going to be there for the purpose they put it away for.
Right. Yeah, and you want to see that. I've just talking to somebody yesterday, and they were talking about their twins, and they're all like 20 or 30 years old. I said, I remember when they were little babies, and I'm only 40-some years old too, but I just remember watching them grow up through that whole aspect of it, and felt like I was part of that through that process. And now they're getting their cars and all that kind of stuff and saving for the futures too. So
I got some bad news for you, Gary. That only gets worse.
Yeah, right.
Really, they're that old already?
Right. Exactly. But that's okay. That's a good thing.
And that's kind of how it works, right? Because you are working with their parents now, and you do right by them. Then they're going to tell the kids, you're putting a little money away, you should join the credit union.
Yeah. And I actually had one person follow me from Citizens Bank to the different credit unions that I went to. I actually became his daughter's godfather at that point in time. It was just a relationship that I built because of the trust there. And it's just one of those things I was able to build upon and just work with him. And now she's going to be a junior next year in high school. So, and she held her accounts with me too. So, just one of those things that you trust people and they trust you, and
you might be best man someday.
You never know.
But it seems like it would be stressful as well, because you're handling a lot of people's money, and that trust that we talked about, that goes along with it.
It is stressful at times, but I think it's rewarding too that you're helping these people. The stress comes and goes. Every situation is differently when they come into the door. You just got to let that go, because somebody else is going to come in, and then just like when you're driving down the road, that person in front of you might want to be road rage with them, but you don't know where their person's coming through or what they're going through in life either. So you want to be able to help that person when they come through your door at the credit union too. So, and that's the way I look at it too, is I want to be able to help that person that's walking through my door.
You don't appear to be the kind of person that would suffer from road rage.
No, I'm not. I'm I'm a carefree person in my life.
Yeah, and so when you do the selling, we talk about credit unions and putting the money away. Where as far as being in business, you're taking people's money in, but you're also loaning it out. So you're replenishing what's people, and a lot of us we remember It's a Wonderful Life, and George would say, well, Mrs. R, your money's not here, it's in his farm, it's in that place over there.
Yeah, it's one of those things that you're investing in our credit union, but we're also lending it back out through the CD rates or through the car rates that we're offering the people there too. So right now we're offering different automobile rates as low as 6% right now, so that's how we're able to function that way, by able getting Joe Schmo his car down the street there. And we might be able to beat the dealers too, at a better rate there than the dealers are able to offer you. And then, like I said, we can offer payroll reduction, so you can see it come right out of your payroll at that point in time, so you never miss a payment either. You don't have to worry about, if I've
Did
taken
I
care
do
of
this?
I've
Yeah.
taken care of it. It's automatically deducted out of my page or right out of my account each pay. And every time I need to make the payment, it's ready to go.
Do you have to belong to these school districts in order to be a member?
So you do have to be either an employee of the Ambridge, Quaker Valley, or Freedom School District, or you have to be a employee of those school districts, or a friend or family of those people within the working in the area, or you can be an alumnus of these 3 school districts. So that was something I learned as becoming to the CEO of Ambridge Area Federal Credit Union and being an alumnus of Ambridge Area, that I could have joined this back in the day. I didn't know that until just recently, and when I joined the Ambridge Area Federal Credit Union 2.5 years ago, that I was able to be as being an alumnus, I was able to join the credit union. So that's also a new avenue that we're pursuing right now too, and getting out there that, there's a lot of alumnus from Ambridge that may be able to benefit from the Ambridge Area Federal Credit Union that they're not able, weren't aware of that situation. So
Yeah. And do you do direct deposit as well?
we do direct deposit too. Yep, that's something we can just give your account number and routing number to you, and you'll be able to set up through your employer, and we'll be able to have it there whenever you get there. Your Social Security will hit there too. So
I'm trying to think of things in like the last 30 years and the different employers that I've worked for. I don't think that they even give you a paper check anymore. It seems like when you sign up, when you apply for the job and you're accepted, that automatically they want the numbers to go through and the routing numbers.
I don't know of any places really, unless you're self-employed, that you're really getting those type of checks. That's really it.
Money goes right in the bank.
Yep, money goes right in. They don't want, like you were saying earlier, you don't want the money to go out either. Just 'cause it doesn't go out physically, it goes out through your debit card.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't know how much is in there.
Right,
You just keep taking it out.
That running total there is for you.
There's some of the other benefits. I mean, if you are a member of the credit union, you're involved with these different school districts, what does that get you? And can it be like if my parents are members of the credit union, but I'm not, can I still benefit?
Yep. As long as you're affiliated, you're associated with any family member, you can join our credit union at that point in time and take the full advantage of the benefits of their. Like I said, the benefits are just being, sound in mind that your money will be safe at the credit union. Direct deposits, all the products and services that we have, you'll be eligible for at that point in time. Any loans or anything like that too, you'd be eligible for. Any credit cards, debit cards, or anything like that would be able to help you at that point in time and hopefully save you some money in the future.
Are those school districts that you talk about, Quaker Valley, Freedom, Ambridge, are they growing as well so that those numbers are continuing to stay up?
They are all growing school districts, so they are pretty successful school districts too. That's why we approached Freedom recently. It seems like it's a bigger area that's starting to really develop too. And Ambridge too is still developing too. There's a lot going on in the Ambridge area, as we talked earlier. It's not as big as when I went there. I think we were 300 kids when I graduated, and I think they're about 180 or something around that. So but that's just the way Beaver County is right now too. So.
But it's growing.
It is growing, yes.
More people buying homes, mortgaging homes. People come to you for those as well?
We don't do first mortgages at our credit union, but we do home equities and stuff like that too. But we don't do the first mortgages.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
So these are things the people should contact you about.
Yeah.
I know that you have a small staff. You're the CEO, and you have
I have two part-time
part-timers.
employees, yes, and then they're there with me all the time too. So I'm the CEO. I'm there Monday through Friday, and we're from there from 9 to 4, Saturdays 9 to 12. So we're always there for you. And then we have online capabilities that you can email us to, and you can answer any questions for there too. So.
Yeah. And the board of directors.
So my board of directors are all some of my old teachers from Ambridge, which is kind of interesting. So like I said, a lot of them, there's 7 of them. They're all been very involved in the community and very involved in the Ambridge area Federal Credit Union since the beginning of them. The president, Angela Panaris, has been very involved.
Well.
Yes. Yeah. Fritz Retch is another big name in the area too. So Denise Felino is also on my board too. Joey Larrick, Kim Rappa, and Ron and Joanne Gonzalez are on our board also. So
okay. And what role do they play at the credit union?
So they are pretty much my boss at that point in time too. Anything that I have any issues goes to them, or if you have a complaint about me, it comes from them too. You go to them and talk to me about it. So they are pretty much approving all the rates that we have with the credit union. Anything that we need to improve upon in the credit union, they work at that point in time to develop any new programs and anything like that. I bring it to them, present it to them, and they decide whether it's beneficial or not for us.
So what you're saying is right now they're listening or watching this program on our Facebook page,
Yep.
WBVP-WMBA, and they're critiquing you.
Probably, but that's okay. I'm used to that. That's the teachers. That's what they do. They critique us and let us know if we're doing good or not. So that's what they're there for.
Gary, you didn't say this. So if they were to say that, is there anything that we didn't talk about this morning?
I don't think so. I think we talked about everything that we needed to talk about as far as what products and services we offer.
Mm-hmm.
We do offer right now. We're having a summer staycation loan. A lot of people are staying home right now, so we're doing a staycation loan. So it's
very good. And home improvements. Huh?
Home improvements.
If you're
or
staying
anything like
home,
that.
you're just not going to sit on the porch drink a Kool-Aid.
So it's one of those things that we can offer for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
I know I'm not going anywhere. We just put some remodeling into our house, so it's one of those things that we can offer everybody at that point in time. It's right now we're offering $1,500 to $2,000 at 18 months at 12% right now. So it's it's one of those things that we can just do, and we do it again at Christmas time too. It's usually like $1,000, 12 months at 12%. So where we try to give back, have people who can eligible for that type of thing.
And how do people contact the Ambridge area?
They can contact us at 724-869-3342 or look right on the website and ambridgeareafederalcreditunion.com, and they can reach us through there too.
Student accounts?
We do offer student accounts, student branching accounts. Yes, we do.
So if you're in high school, if you're over 16, you can open up.
And we actually do have a branch within the Ambridge Area School District too. We have a branch in there. We haven't been in there since COVID, but we're hoping to get back there this year to get back to the students. So.
Electronic banking, college student loans. So if you're in the Ambridge, Quaker Valley, Freedom Area School Districts, check those things out.
Check those things out for us, and we'll be happy to help you guys.
Covering everything, it seems like, from the cradle to the grave, because individual retirement accounts you can service as well.
Yep, we do pretty much everything hands-on right there. So we're all fully trained and fully...
Okay. Gary Ford is the CEO of the Ambridge Area Federal Credit Union. Their website is ambridgeareafcu.com.
Yep.
And that's how they can obtain more information.
Yep.
Contact the credit union.
Yep, contact the credit union right there, 724-869-3342.
Pleasure meeting you, Gary.
I appreciate it, Mike.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Ambridge Area Federal Credit Union. I'm Mike Romine with Gary Ford on the St. Barnabas Radio Network.
Thank you for listening to the Best of Beaver County. St. Barnabas is pleased to have